The Gun Under Roses, author Kwabena Osei. Love is a mystery. Mankind is vulnerable to the power of love. There are diversities of love. Unconditional love nourishes us with the bread of life. On the contrary, false love nourishes us with the bread of sorrows. Initially, both of these two separate loves wear the same coat of love. Natural things create no misery. The byproduct of unconditional love is the inheritance of the living heaven on earth, whilst false love is the birth of mankind's miseries. Life is very precious. We live but once. It is worthless to offer your life as a ransomed sacrifice in the name of false love. It is better to be awakened before making life's time commitment in marriage, love, and sex relation. Our success or failure in life depends on those with whom we surround ourselves. The mystery key to success is in our own hands. It is unquestionable in many scenarios. Lack of awareness, we rather design our path of suffering. We are born free. Lack of awareness, we sell our freedom to false love to be incarcerated. False love is nothing but the gun under roses. False love is spiritual, sophisticated weaponry created by the devil for mass destruction. Each and every moment, atrocities are caused in the name of love. Mankind is driven with brainwashed ideologies that eventually trigger hatred, division, racism, wars, and indiscriminately killing. Where is the love by which is the language and music on mankind's lips every moment? From the existence of the human race, humanity consistently preoccupies seeking perfect peace and everlasting prosperity globally. There are many institutions who are the frontliners, including religious leaders, all contributing, seeking perfect peace globally to make the world a safer place for the human race. They initially advocate the language of love to the masses. Unfortunately, most of their effort for peace, on the contrary, has become nothing but counterproductive. Indiscriminately, wars have displaced millions of innocent souls in uncountable refugee camps worldwide. Where is the fruit of love such institutions consistently advocate to the masses? It is simply because mankind falls short to distinguish between the killer false love with the cover cloth of love and unconditional love. The love by which they advocate is nothing but the ego's mind's love, basically on conditions. This precious book, The Gun Under Roses, is of much significance to mankind. It highlights us with awareness. It enables mankind to be aware of individuals, agents of darkness, that knock at the closet door of the innocent souls with the manipulation of the language of love initially. Eventually, hatred and mass destruction are their hidden agenda. Human beings' characters are not foreseen on their forehead. People recognize their killer false love behind the initial smile with love when they are already trapped and surrounded by high walls without any possible exit. It is only through unconditional love by which the human race can achieve perfect peace and everlasting prosperity. The shadow of unconditional love is innocence. Innocence is above all kinds of religiousness and human fabricated indoctrination ideologies. Innocent is simply blameless, faultless, and harmless. These are the qualities bewitching children. The world will be a better and a safer place for you and I and our future generation if we learn how to embrace unconditional love and to live with our innocence in our daily activities. It is the innocent soul that can love unconditionally. Religiousness is simply to live with your innocence. I am not condemning any religion or specifically against any religion. Rather, to throw a little light of awareness and awakening vulnerable innocent souls to boost the credibility of religion. Perhaps my little contribution will let religion become more fruitful and beneficial to the human race. The living hell in which mankind is condemned can be transformed into a living paradise only through unconditional love. Let us live and love unconditionally, and we will always find pleasure in love. The power of love conquers all. Nature is perfect in its creation. Natural things create no misery. Our misery in life is the attribute of living contrary to the dictates of nature. The ego is the cause of mankind's misunderstanding of nature and its guidance. The ego is instituted in mankind by the devil to turn mankind against nature. The ego can be simply classified as the part of the devil in mankind. It is our false personality. The soul of mankind is created with the mystery product of light and spirit fire. The innocence is the garment of the soul. These elements are the byproducts of the supreme power of love. They are what we refer to as the part of God in mankind. The innocent expresses the beauty of life force beyond borders through unconditional love. The supreme power of love is the genesis of everything in existence. Love conquers all. Mankind's existence in creation is purely through the supreme power of love. Love beautifies life. Without love, there will be no life. God is love. Love is the ultimate. Thus, the universal light, the mighty spirit fire, the innocent are all the byproducts of the supreme power of love. The body formation of mankind is through the power of love and sex. Mankind's existence is derived mystically from the mighty power of love. Love is very mysterious. It is very significant for mankind to acquire a broader knowledge about the supreme power of love. It is simply because it is the ultimate source of the power of life in creation. God is love and love is the ultimate. The supreme power of love is the ultimate source of the mystery energy that binds the entire existence in uniqueness for perfect order. Love expresses the perfection of the mysterious handiwork of the supreme being behind the entire existence. Love is the mystery body of the master of creation. It is the ultimate source of life force. Religious sect advocates of dying going to heaven, and through which way can one inherit the kingdom of the living God? Instead of being misled by humans' ideologies, just take refuge in the power of unconditional love. This is the only true path to mankind's salvation. They say that one can enter the kingdom of God only through being a childlike person. Being childlike is simply to live with your innocence. Innocence supersedes religiousness. Anything mankind came to meet in the physical world will be left behind when crossing the mystery border of death. It is only the innocent. The precious property goes with you eternally. The innocent is a powerful, mysterious light that shines vividly around the soul through death. It is your crown in godly. To be religious is simply to fight the ongoing war in you through the ego's manipulations to recuperate your innocence sold to the world of darkness. Innocence supersedes religiousness. Living with your innocence is above all the indoctrination of the religious sects. To live with your innocence has nothing to do with the labels of religion. We hastily reproof children with our ego's dominant mind. We must, in some scenarios, carefully and patiently observe how innocently children are, and on the contrary, learn from them. The innocent is the most precious property with which mankind entered the world. It is the spiritual garment to the soul. It is the shadow and armor to the soul in the physical world. It expresses its unconditional love towards the phenomenon of qualities and beauties in creation. It expresses the beauty of life after death. It is the only property to be taken with you through death. Innocence is a mystery powerful amour by which the devil falls short to penetrate. The innocent is guided with the spiritual sword of everlasting fire that trashes the devil in pieces. And what is innocent? Blameless, faultless, and harmless. In combination, these is referred to as the innocent. The devil can manipulate you only when you lose your innocence to its dark world. The devil's major preoccupation is to try every means to take away the greatest amour of the soul, the innocence, from mankind as soon as one enters this physical world. Once you lose the innocent, unconditional love eludes you completely. When the devil successfully takes away the innocent that connects with unconditional love, the devil presents to you the ego that connects with false identity, false love concealed in the name of love. Thus the ego is the absence of the innocent. The ego is the part of the devil in mankind. Its major task for the implementation of the ego in mankind is to fight the sacred in mankind to enlarge its kingdom. The world has become a living hell through the manipulation of the ego in mankind. The characters that eventually lead to hatred and deceptions are all the byproducts of the ego. False love is the ego's garment that presents itself in the name of love. False love is the spiritual sophisticated weaponry created by the devil for mass destruction of the human race. Many atrocities are caused in the name of love every minute globally. It is worthless to offer your precious life as a ransomed sacrifice in the name of false love. False love nourishes mankind with the bread of sorrows. False love is nothing but the spiritual gun under roses. My major preoccupation is to throw enormous light on the subject of love to enable mankind distinguishes between false love, that is spiritual atomic bomb for mass destruction that nourishes us with the bread of sorrows, and unconditional love that nourishes us with the bread of life that upgrades better conditions for mankind. I recommend you to grab copies of The Wings of Love Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Love Sailing Boat, and of course The Gun Under Roses. These lovely books highlight the in-depth causes and effects of false love, how we can avoid being trapped by false love through Mother Nature's sacred guidance. It is better to be awakened from a hallucinated life intrigued in you by the ego before offering your life as a ransomed sacrifice in the name of love. Marriage is a sacred institution under the umbrella of unconditional love. It is meant for the acquisition of the living paradise on earth. The devil's major preoccupation is to take such a living paradise from our life. Instead, it has instituted false marriage and false love and sex, cunningly hidden in the coat of love to mislead mankind to the living hell. These are the attributes to numerous atrocities caused every minute across the globe in the name of love. Life is very precious. Mankind is born free but lack of awareness. Mankind sells its freedom to the devil through the manipulation of false love to be incarcerated. There are some mistakes once committed. You will eventually live through its consequences throughout your entire life till death. The wise men say, life becomes a bitch when you marry a bitch. The hangover of the bitch is sometimes a spiritual bleeding for those lucky innocent souls. Those unlucky innocent souls, death of their ultimate freedom. Our pleasure begotten from our various homes has its extension to the entire society. Through love, we can unconditionally exchange ideas that upgrade people's lives in society. It is through unconditional love by which the world can be a peaceful paradise under the beautiful mighty sun. False love is protectionism and selfishness. It is nothing but fear disguised. Fear is hatred. Fear is the absence of unconditional love. Love unites. Unity is strength. Hatred tears apart. It is a division. Divided we fall apart. This paves way for the devil to inherit the center seat in manipulation throughout our daily activities. The prospects of these delinquencies are through the ego and its dominant mind. Hatred is nothing but self-destruction. Hatred has magnetic attractions to darkness. Hatred draws enormous darkness in mankind. When darkness reaches its mountainous peak, it chains you down. You become an enemy to yourself. It is simply because evil darkness destroys your grace and glory. Stress then emerges. You thus ignore everything and eventually live contrary to nature. It is hard work and a great task to shoulder yourself with hatred. You always feel uncomfortable confronting someone you consider as a potential enemy. Hatred is self-defeat in disguise. Hatred is a cover cloth and concealment of your defeat. Those who defeat their enemies through unconditional love are the greatest heroes ever lived on the planet. Hatred is the byproduct of the ego, the part of the devil in mankind. We say, let's live and love our neighbor as ourselves. The unconditional acceptance of a neighbor for mutual understanding and respect for a peaceful environment can be achieved only through the power of unconditional love. All the conflicts, nation fighting against one another, brainwashed ideologies that divides mankind, that intrigues hatred in our heart, racism, categorizing other races, genetically inferiority, complexity, division, religious wars, segregation, immorality, protectionism, by even the so-called holy religious sects, marriages and companionships that eventually results in deceptions, are all the attribute of the ego. The ego is more to be feared than the devil itself. We should fight it every second, get it out from its hidden place in our interior world before it takes momentum to be a destructive monster for mass destruction. The only means to dethrone the ego, which is the part of the devil in mankind, is to find a refuge under the umbrella of unconditional love to recuperate our innocent soul to the world of darkness. This is the only means by which we can transform the living hell created by the devil through the super-ego into a living paradise. It is through unconditional love by which we can achieve perfect peace and everlasting prosperity. Unconditional love is the supreme key to the sacred door of the kingdom of God. False love is the sophisticated weaponry created by the devil for mass destruction of the human race. Let these lovely books mentioned above, including The Gun Under Roses, be your daily guide and companion, and you will always trample on the manipulation by ego's dominant mind. They create awareness. Obviously, lifestyle-wise, they will assist you to avoid wrong choices and mishaps through the misleading by the ego's dominant mind. They are the combatant force against false love, which is counterproductive and deadly to mankind's progress and unity. Let unconditional love reign supreme in your interior world for its extensions to the outer world. Inevitably, nature would be left with no alternative than to smile at you. And when nature smiles at you, impossibilities become possibilities. Love is the solution of everything and the remedy of all illness, including the mighty death itself. Love unconditionally, and you can eventually transform the living hell in which you find yourself into a living paradise. The power of love conquers all. Peace and love. Grab the full story from KOCDoctrinesandpublications.com.